For 29 years, Matt Roloff was married to Amy Roloff. From September 12, 1987 to May 2016, they were husband and wife. They raised 4 children together. They built a farm together. They became reality television stars together. And then, in 2015 and 2016, they went through one of the most public divorces in cable television history. For a while, the years after the divorce were full of tension. There were arguments about the farm. There were tensions about Caryn Chandler. There were moments of frustration that played out on camera and on social media. But something has shifted in the later seasons of Little People, Big World, and in the years since the show ended in 2024. Matt Roloff has begun to talk about Amy with a different tone, a softer tone, a more reflective tone, a tone that suggests he is finally processing what their marriage meant, what its ending meant, and what she means to him in a way that transcends the specific frustrations of their separation. Tonight on LPBW Update, we are walking through Matt Roloff's most significant confessional moments about Amy from the later seasons of the show and from his public statements in recent years. Because how Matt talks about Amy has changed dramatically over the past decade, and understanding that change tells us something important about how Matt has evolved as a person, as an ex-husband, and as a father to their 4 adult children. Let us start with the biggest single confession Matt has made about Amy in recent years. In season 25 of Little People, Big World, which aired in early 2024, Matt sat down with Caryn Chandler to reveal a decision he had made about the future of Roloff Farms. He said that when he died, Amy would inherit the property, not one of their 4 children, not Caryn, Amy. That announcement was significant for many reasons. It was a public acknowledgment of Amy's role in building the farm. It was a recognition that Amy had been the mother of the family that had made the farm famous. It was a rejection of the option of leaving the property to Caryn, which some fans might have expected. And it was, in its own way, a love letter. Matt was saying that even though he and Amy were divorced, even though he was engaged to Caryn, Amy still deserved the farm. Amy still deserved to be part of the property's future. Amy still mattered to him in a way that transcended their romantic history. That is not a small thing to admit publicly, but Matt did. Marek, Amy's husband, has confirmed something else about Matt and Amy's ongoing relationship. In an interview with Us Weekly in February of 2024, Chris said that Matt and Amy still talk on the phone once or twice a month about family-related matters. He added that they have good conversations, so it has definitely gotten a lot better since I have known them. That statement, from Chris, tells you everything you need to know about the current relationship between Matt and Amy. They talk. They discuss family matters. They coordinate. They stay in touch. They are not enemies. They are not distant strangers. They are, in every functional sense, co-parents of 4 adult children and 8 grandchildren. And they are, in their own way, friends. Matt has also made some remarkably honest confessions about his relationship dynamics on season 25 with Marek. In one particularly notable scene, Matt sat down at his log cabin with his friend Ty and Chris. He admitted he was petrified about getting married to Caryn. He said he did not see himself with anybody other than Caryn, but he was worried their relationship could change after they walked down the aisle. He said he and Caryn had talked about feeling afraid that their dynamic could change, especially because it was working so well right then. That is a stunning confession for a man who had been married to Amy for 29 years to make. He was essentially saying that his experience of marriage to Amy had left him afraid to formally marry again. He had gone through the ending of a long marriage. He knew what marriages could become. He was petrified of repeating the pattern. Chris responded with vulnerability of his own, saying he had been concerned about the same thing at 59 years old when he married Amy in 2021. But he added that in his case, things had actually gotten better after they got married, not worse. That whole conversation was Matt reflecting on his marriage to Amy without ever mentioning her directly. She was the ghost in every sentence. She was the reason he was petrified. She was the marriage that had shaped his fear of marriage. Beyond these specific moments, Matt has made a series of smaller confessions throughout season 25 that have suggested his evolving perspective on Amy. He has praised her cooking. He has praised her parenting. He has praised her as a grandmother. He has spoken respectfully about her marriage to Chris. He has celebrated her at family events. He has, in interview after interview, treated her with a level of warmth that would have been unimaginable during the more contentious years around 2020 and 2021 when the farm sale conflicts were at their peak. Whatever internal work Matt has done, whatever conversations he and Amy have had, whatever perspective he has gained from being with Caryn for 8 years, and then having that engagement end, the result has been that he now speaks about Amy in a way that suggests genuine appreciation. One of the most touching Matt Roloff moments about Amy came not in a confessional, but in a small gesture. When Amy's memoir, A Little Me, was published in 2019, Matt was publicly disappointed. He felt Amy had been unfair in her portrayal of him in their marriage. He said so on podcasts. But over the years, Matt has stopped fighting the memoir's framing. He has stopped defending himself against every criticism it contained. He has, in effect, let Amy have her side of the story. That kind of acceptance is a mature response. It is not the response of a man who is still fighting old battles. It is the response of a man who has decided that Amy has earned the right to tell her story in her own way, even if it does not fully reflect his version. Another notable public moment came when Amy and Chris got married on August 28, 2021, at Roloff Farms. Matt did not attend the wedding. Amy had made it clear he was not invited, and Matt accepted that. He did not complain. He did not make it a public issue. He allowed Amy to have her wedding on the farm they had built together, without his presence. That is a specific kind of grace. Many ex-husbands would have made the wedding into a controversy. Matt let it be Amy's day. He and Caryn even gave Amy and Chris airline tickets to visit them in Arizona as a wedding gift. That kind of gift from an ex-husband to his ex-wife on her second wedding day is remarkable. It is Matt saying publicly and materially that he wanted Amy to be happy in her new life. Matt has also talked about Amy in the context of their adult children. When Zach's feud with Matt was at its most intense, Amy was often caught in the middle. Matt has spoken publicly about how difficult that dynamic has been. He has expressed frustration at times, but he has also acknowledged Amy's important role as a peacekeeper. When the family finally came together for the Christmas 2025 reunion, documented by Isabel Roloff, Matt praised Amy's willingness to be present. He has said in more recent interviews that Amy has been essential to holding the family together through difficult periods. That kind of public credit is, again, a form of confession. Matt is saying, without saying it directly, that he could not have kept his family functioning through the difficult years without Amy's presence. There is one specific angle of Matt's confessional moments about Amy that I want to highlight. It relates to the way he has framed the ending of their marriage in retrospect. In earlier years, Matt talked about the ending of the marriage in ways that emphasized his own version of events. He talked about differences in personality. He talked about growing apart. He talked about the strains of building the farm and raising the kids. In more recent years, Matt has talked about it differently. He has acknowledged in various ways that he could have been a better husband. He has acknowledged that his relationship with Caryn during the final years of his marriage was inappropriate in ways he had not fully accepted publicly before. He has expressed regret about how the ending played out. That kind of retrospective self-awareness is not universal among divorced men in their 60s. Matt has, in his own way, done the work of examining his own choices and how they contributed to the ending of the marriage. That work shows up in the way he now talks about Amy. The evolution of Matt's public tone about Amy has coincided with the evolution of his own personal life. During the years when he was fighting with his sons over the farm sale, when Caryn was moving to Arizona, when the pressure was highest, Matt was more defensive about his marriage history. He was more likely to justify his choices. As Caryn's engagement to him began to unravel through 2024 and 2025, Matt's tone softened. He began to speak with more compassion about the challenges of long relationships. He began to acknowledge that maybe he and Amy had done better than he had realized at the time. And by July of 2025, when his engagement to Caryn officially ended, Matt was, by every visible measure, a man reevaluating his understanding of his own life. Since the breakup with Caryn, Matt has continued to be publicly warm about Amy. He has attended family events with her present. He has posted photos with her at gatherings. He has coordinated with her about family matters. He has, in the Christmas 2025 reunion photo that Isabel documented, sat next to her and their sons in matching sweaters. The visual of that moment, Matt and Amy side by side at their grandchildren's Christmas event, was powerful. It said something that no words could say. Whatever they had been through, whatever they had done wrong, whatever regrets they were still the parents of the same 4 children. They were still the grandparents of the same 8 grandchildren. They were still bound together, whether they liked it or not, by the family they had built. What can we learn from Matt Roloff's confessional evolution about Amy over the years? A few things. First, that ex-spouses can grow into better versions of themselves after difficult marriages. Matt is not the same man who was divorcing Amy in 2015. He has matured. He has learned. He has become more capable of appreciating what she is and what she did. Second, that divorce does not have to end all connection between former partners. Matt and Amy have modeled, imperfectly, what it looks like to remain connected as co-parents and grandparents while also having separate romantic lives. Third, that public confessions matter. Every time Matt has publicly praised Amy in recent years has been a small building block in the healthier post-divorce family dynamic they have created. He has done the work of publicly acknowledging her, and that work has made the family better. Looking at Matt in 2026, single again after the Caryn breakup, reconnected with his children and grandchildren, still in warm, regular contact with Amy, he is a different man than he was 10 years ago. His confessional moments about Amy over season 25 and beyond have been part of his evolution. And Amy, for her part, has received his changing tone with the grace of a woman who has moved on with her own life but still cares about the man she once loved. That combination of a changed ex-husband and a graceful ex-wife is what has allowed the Roloff family to reach the healthier place it is in today. So, I want to know what you think. What is your favorite Matt Roloff moment about Amy from the show's later seasons? Do you think Matt has genuinely grown, or do you think he is still the same man he always was? And do you think Matt and Amy could ever, in some future universe, become close friends? Drop your thoughts below. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for our weekly Roloff family stories.